it didn't affect me in the slightest. I was somewhere else. I couldn't care less when those two left. But it will have affected Andrew much more because he was in the writing process, whereas I definitely wasn't.
Yeah, well, yes, it did. But I'm not going to dwell on that because I want to rise above what they did and build in an element of forgiveness, if you will, and hopefully time and all that kind of thing. But the short answer is I thought what they did was badly timed and somewhat wrong, to be very polite. The actual musical effect was beneficial, but I didn't know that at the time because obviously it just looked like two major pillars of the outfit were just falling away unnecessarily in my eyes, because we weren't fighting, we weren't falling out. It was very swift what came, and it was completely out of the blue for the pair of them. But the short version was, when I spoke to Aaron, I thought, I didn't really want to bring this news to him. He already had enough on, and this was part of why I thought it was badly timed by their, both of those. They could have waited. So musically, it made us rethink, and it allowed me to actually bring some stuff back in I'd removed, because we were quite, democratic. I tend to write a lot of the music just because I'm just busy doing that. It's kind of what I do. It's what I bring to the band. But if somebody votes, if we're not keen on a particular idea or a particular riff, I'm not so precious that I've got loads. It doesn't really matter. I can remove this one. Everybody's happy. Do you prefer this, or have you got something of your own? And we did that. Not so much with Sean, but when Calvin left, it allowed me to bring some stuff back in that he'd vetoed, for the want of a better word. And I rewrote a lot of things that I was allowing in that I didn't really like, but again, for democratic reasons, I thought, just keep quiet. It's just music. It's just my opinion that it's not correct. So it allowed me to rewrite loads, and I rewrote a lot. It was almost a complete makeover on a lot of the album. So that was, I think, I didn't know it at the time, but it turns out it's one of those horrible things that happens that turns out to be a blessing. But it looks grim at the time. It just certainly didn't feel like a blessing then, but it's proved to be. Such is life. With Jeff Singer coming in, he's brought a new, very professional element to the band, which I just love. You'll have to edit all of this because I'm going to sing Jeff's praises and we can't have that going out. He's not only is he an excellent drummer, he learns very fast, and he's just an excellent guy, which is rare. He wasn't used to the way My Dying Bride does music, because it turns out that I didn't realise it, but we don't do normal stuff apparently, and he had to get his head in the game and rethink drum, almost unlearn to drum, I suppose is the best way to put that. He got his head around it though, and I thought it potentially for me helped save the morale of the band, because up until the drums being recorded and hearing them, and then guitars can sort of sit on top, I certainly didn't genuinely think we were ever going to make it, because Aaron's situation was still what it was, and we were potentially looking at someone that may decide, because of the horrors of his private life, that he doesn't want to come back to a My Dying Bride or anything like that. But the drums revived our spirits, because it allowed the band to look like there was an album suddenly, whereas before it was just lots of ideas that were all over the place. So he in many respects saved us, I suppose, without, you'll have to edit that of course, and allowed us to progress in a really great way. Because then where I could go to Az and say, look, it's beginning to take shape. All that pain, all that trouble, we're now beginning to build out of the ruins of what My Dying Bride was to this new My Dying Bride that's becoming this new album. So Jeff brought a massive amount of morale and a massive amount of enthusiasm, to the point where I thought he must be insane. He must have a screw loose, because he's just too enthusiastic about the music. He loved it, he really did, and he really enjoyed drumming it. And it spilled over into us, and we started to, smile again a little bit. Not too much, of course, but it was refreshing. It was welcome as well. Neil, the new chap on guitar, he's fitting in brilliantly. But we know Neil. He's just like an old friend, and he's actually in a band called Valor Farm. We haven't fully stolen him, but if he doesn't stop, we won't be kicking him out, if you know what I mean. So as long as he stays coming to rehearsals and stays playing the guitar, he'll probably stay playing the guitar. And we've no reason to change anything. That's the short answer.